speaking of Indianapolis, we're going to go right to the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line, who's joining us right now from NFL Network, Rachel Bonnetta. How we doing, Rachel?
Woo, woo, woo. Hi, guys. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, did you just, woo-woo your own introduction?
Well, I mean, Leaf gave me, a pretty mediocre introduction. Usually people are like, she's up and coming. She is the star of the
Let's start. Let's start over. Let's start over. Now joining us on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line, amazing young talent in the NFL Network world. Met her on Saturday at a 2-year-old's birthday party, clinging to her dog. She cares for the dog so much. Brought him to the party. It was an amazing introduction. She joins the show right now. Rachel, how are you?
There you go. That's better. That's what I'm talking about. Hi, guys. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. So you're in Indy, first time to the Combine. We talked about that on Saturday. And then biggest thing for me is what has it been like for you? You know, first time to the Combine, kind of watching what the meat market looks like. But what has it meant to you so far?
It's actually really cool. Upon arrival, I have been warned by just about everybody. They're like, stack up on your fluids, drink your liquid IV. You're going to be drinking alcoholic beverages a lot. And so I'm coming in. I landed on a red eye yesterday. I'm coming in. I'm like, okay, tonight's the night. You know, our TV show starts on Thursday. We're going out tonight. Literally everybody was gone. I was bailed on by everybody. Everybody was asleep by 10 p.m. And so I'm like, okay, I thought this was going to be a fun week. This is where everyone kind of gets to let loose after the Super Bowl. Everybody bailed on me. I have no friends here. So that's my first impression. And then just excited to see all of these guys. This is you really can feel the excitement on the street from these kids that are just walking around. You see them practicing their 40s in the hallways and, the bench presses there. It is a really cool atmosphere. But, like I said, I have no friends, so it's going to be a lonely week.
We're speaking with Rachel Bonnetta, NFL Network host, Benched with Bonnetta podcast as well. All right. So there's a lot of details that go into something like this, right? And things like hand size and arm length and all these things. I mean, being around the event and hearing kind of the periphery of those types of things, how important is it for these guys to have these types of things, or is it just something that the media makes a big speculation of?
I mean, I think it's fun to definitely make, hand size absolutely the most important thing of the day, which is absolutely ridiculous.
As we should.
We're bored. We have nothing else to do. But this is the biggest moment of their careers thus far. And I think that, they obviously want to excel in every single last bit of it. I did take the now defunct Wonderlic test yesterday, and thank God that has been ripped to shreds, because I failed 9th grade math, and doing this Wonderlic test, I just felt like maybe the most dumbest person that has ever existed. So I think that
did you get your score?
Sorry, say that again?
Did you get your score?
Yeah, I'm just a certified dumb person. That's actually what
that was the result.
They were like, "Don't ever do this again."
Well, what was the question that gave you the most trouble on that thing?
The question was just a typical, if the train leaves the station at 3:45, and it was just what do these guys have to? Why are they doing this? There is no trains in an NFL game.
Well, there were many times when Ray Lewis hit me, I thought he was a train. It was okay, blowing through there. You have to figure out what time he's leaving this station to get to me at this station. Yeah, so it made some sense. I was trying to think of some fun things to do with you around, you talked about the nightlife and you were ready to do it and ready to go out, and you're young and I'm in Indy the first time. Let's see what it's all about. And then kind of falls down. Because I was kind of looking for some superlatives. If there was most likely to succeed, funniest, things like that. What people in our business, either media-wise or do you think around the NFL would fit into those roles?
Well, this is the Rich Eisen Show, and I don't know if he's going to listen to this, but just to suck up to him, he's the funniest and he's the best in all of the superlatives. What's really Daniel Jeremiah, I would say, most likely to succeed. I was talking to this guy yesterday, and just the way that his brain works. Like, I was asking him, because he just knows so much about all of these guys. I was like, how much room do you have in your brain? Like, do you have 150 guys absolutely memorized? Is it 100? And he goes, no, I know every single thing about all 300-something players at this combine. And it's just the prep he literally started this prep last year. Like, at this time last year, he was looking at this class. So I think that he's absolutely just blown me away. And then I would just say Rich Eisen is the coolest and the funniest. And thank you for having me on this show. So he wins all of the categories.
I like that. I like that. He's your peer there on NFL Network, and of course you're putting in a good 2 cents. I'll just let it be known that it was my idea to have Rachel on the show today, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes.
I figured.
Yeah. We bonded. We bonded. We bonded over a 2-year-old's birthday party.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like it.
Wait, Rachel, did you eat like 14 sausage biscuits also? Because that's what Ryan did.
I did not, no, but Ryan was the first person. As soon as I arrived, he was like, let me run you through the snacks. Here's where the cake is. Here's where the Chick-fil-A is. He was kind of just hovering over the snack table the entire time, which is a great place to be.
I'm a grazer.
He was fighting off children. He was like, move out of the way. This is my donut.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a grazer at these things. And luckily, Sarah, Tiana, Mr. Brockman's fine partner and all this, cooked the most amazing food. And I take advantage of those things. Also, I think because I knew I was going to be on TV this week that I was, kind of publicly shaming myself. I think that was the way I approached things. What are you looking forward to now that workouts start to begin? What are you looking forward to over the next few days from the aspect of the combine? Maybe when it comes down to the players, what are you looking forward to most?
To be honest, like, I've never really experienced this before.
Right.
And I think that this year is really cool that they've added this whole new aspect of, like, the fans are going to be right there. I think that there's been fans before in the past, but they've had to be, like, way up in the rafters, kind of.
That's
fans
true.
are kind of, like, allowed to be close and in the mix, and also they're blasting music. So I'm excited to kind of I can only imagine. I buckle under pressure. I'm not good at that stuff. I can only imagine how, it feels like they're kind of trying to create the atmosphere of, like, what an NFL stadium would feel like. And so them just, like, running these 40s and just feeling the vibe of, like, all of these fans who are excited to watch these guys, I just think it's going to be a really cool energy in Lucas Oil. And I'm just kind of excited to watch them do their thing. And also just to, like, the craziest thing is walking around and being like, oh, this could be. We had this big meeting yesterday, and our leader, T-Man, was kind of just like, just remember, there's going to be a Hall of Famer on this field, maybe 2, maybe 5. So it's just kind of really cool to walk around and be like, wow, you never know who is going to, like, pop off and be so insanely famous. These guys' lives are just absolutely about to change. So that it just, like, really adds to the exciting atmosphere. And it's cool. We saw a kid on a bird scooter yesterday, and we were like, get off of there! You're a Hall of Famer! What are you doing?
It is so funny. You were exactly right, too, because it was so cold and sterilized and soundless when I was going through the process many years ago, and how the NFL has developed this, and they can put them in a position, because I guarantee you, the big reason why a lot of these kids play is because they love the competition, but they love to do it and entertain in front of fans. And when you have fans there, and you have music blaring, you have the idea of what game day kind of feels like, to compete at that can only generate, I think, better statistics for these young men and show them what they can do when the lights are on.
Or it's like a sink or swim situation.
Yep.
They're already under so much pressure. Like, I have to run the fastest I've ever run, or I have to lift the most weights that I've ever lifted, and, like, do it really well. And then also you add the cameras on top of that, and then you add the fans in the stands, and then you add the music. It's just like, okay, this is pretty close to what you're going to get for the real deal. So, like, who is going to make it and who isn't? Who can rise to this occasion and who can't? And I say that as somebody, Ryan, like I said, I am not good under pressure. I would absolutely buckle. I'd run to the locker room and be like, I'm not cut out for this.
What would be your best?
I'm in awe of these young guys.
Rachel, what would be your best combine event? We see the guys do the gauntlet. the 40, the broad jump, the high jump, all that fun stuff, what would be your A-plus event?
That's a good question. I used to throw up at track and field. I don't know if you guys have that in America, track and field in like elementary school. I used to puke. I'd get so nervous for the race.
Wow.
But then I'd race and I'd crush it.
So you're
I'm
fast.
calling Rich Eisen out right now. I know he usually runs the 40 at the combine. I think he might be doing it at the draft this year. I could totally leave Rich in the dust. I'm quick. I'm nimble, guys. I'm speedy.
Well, he's also very slow. I mean, he runs like a 6:05.
I wasn't going to say it. I was just going to prove it. I'm not here to talk trash.
No, definitely talk trash. No,
definitely talk trash when you see it. Yeah, that's a big part about being in this business.
I can leave him in the dust.
Yeah.
I'm ready to prove it.
And I would argue that regardless of what you say around, when the bright lights are on, you're somebody who stands in front of bright lights and does commentary around things. So you don't fold under pressure. Let's just make that very clear. The idea that they're making this more of a fun event, do you think it's the reason behind it is because it's so stressful and so pressurized? Have you gotten that feeling just being around a little bit that there's some very serious serious nature to all this, because there's a ton of pressure and there's a ton of stress, but maybe the NFL's tried to alleviate that a little bit by making it feel like it's more game-like and more fun.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, all of these guys are really young, and of course, there's these huge atmospheres in college football. Like it's not like this is their first rodeo, but it's really scary, and they're 20 years old or 21 or 19 or whatever the ages are, and it's like, yeah, this is the biggest day of their life. So for some guys, it might not get any bigger than this. So it's just like, let's take it easy on these kids. This is a game after all. And so I think watching it and going into this as like purely like kind of just a fan, because I'm no Daniel Jeremiah, okay, guys, I'm not crunching numbers over here, but just kind of walking into it as a fan, I'm like, this is really kind of fun to see. And like I said, you're watching these guys and you're like, just if I was on the field and thinking, okay, if I run fast right now, my life could absolutely change. Like, that's just so heavy. So I think that adding the music and adding the fans really just kind of creates a levity to the situation, and hopefully they'll be able to have fun with it.
All right, so let's play this out. We have all the events. We know what all the players do. What if there was a broadcaster's combine? What are some of the events that like what would Peter King be best at?
Wordle?
I like it.
Yeah, instead of the Wonderlink, you have to do like
12
Wordles or something under 10 minutes.
I think that could work. I'm actually going to be, spoiler alert, I'm doing the concourse combine. So because we have all of these fans so into the mix, and they are in the stands, and they're probably talking to themselves like, oh, I could be faster than Rich Eisen, or I'm going to put some of these guys to the test. We are going to be asking them Wonderlic questions, so I'm really just on the lookout to make fans look dumb, which I think will be very entertaining to watch on television. Yes. So that is something that I'm absolutely going to do. But it would be really funny to actually put some of these analysts through the actual combine drills, which we absolutely should do, so that you can kind of see, this is what an athlete looks like. This is what Rachel Bonnetta looks like when she's trying to lift weights. I don't want to do that.
You're doing a great job for teasing our next few segments here. We're going to do a little comparison around some of these combine individuals and whether or not people would think that they are the can't miss prospects. So thank you for being a part of the show this morning and being there for the first time and filling us in. Rachel Bonnetta, everybody from the NFL Network. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you guys for having me. Woo, woo, woo. This is fun.
Have
Thanks
fun.
for having me, Ryan.
Go to Shake Shack.
Rachel Bonnetta. We got double whoops from her to open to close. I think that, she inspires me. So if I go on shows from now on and get introduced,
Just going to whoop yourself?
I'm my own hype man. That's essentially who she is. She's her own hype man.
Hey, if not hype you, woman. Then who, Ryan?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if not me, then who?
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.